channel and somebody's vacuuming. That's fun. Good stuff. Oh, I can hear myself on my computer, which is also good. I head over to my dashboard. Start managing this stuff. Gonna bring down the brightness on my computer so that you can't see it. And we are live on both Twitch and we are live on Facebook Live and Twitch for the second episode, televised episode of UTW, United Through Wrestling, presented by ENC Wrestling, Ethernet Community Wrestling, hosted by myself, Andrew Smith. Thank you for joining us here today on this stream. We got a bunch of really exciting matches. Had some interim matches over the course of this week, deciding who would be in these matches here today. 4 points, they are for stakes. We are working our way up to the event Key to Victory in May, last weekend of May, last Sunday in May, which, if I check real quick, would be the 31st of May is going to be our very first Key of Victory in May, and our second pay-per-view after Warzone on Sunday. Before we get started, I'm going to go through the matches that were on Sunday at Warzone. We had Corin versus Peach, with Corin winning. Iggy beating Mario. Female Wii Fit Trainer defeating Ken. King K. Rool in the heavyweight division defeated Dr. Mario and Ganondorf to go on to face King K. Rool in a heavyweight championship match after King K. Rool defeated them to play King DDD, the champion, and actually won the second champion for the heavyweight title. Mr. Game & Watch became the lightweight champion, defeating Ness, Lucas, and Larry, and Iggy in the main event defeated Corin to win the middleweight championship. So tonight, we have quite a bit happening, actually. In the heavyweight division is where we're going to start out with Samus, Byleth, and Roy. And the rules we're going to be using today is 3 stock 5-minute matches. Anything under 5 minutes had a lot of people winning points in sudden death, so I figured to keep it fair for winners, getting 2 points and plus or minus scores, we would go to 5 minutes. And a lot of these stages I took out, the bigger stages, because these are going to be 2 and 3 person matches, not 8. And the first match we're going to have, all of the heavyweight and lightweight matches tonight are going to be triple threats, and all of the middleweight championship matches, or middleweight matches, are going to be 2v2s. So we start in the heavyweight with Samus, Byleth, and Roy. Roy being from Mario. We're going to turn up the sound so we can hear a bit of this. These are actually very important matches that are happening right now, and I don't know what that was, but Byleth just took a fall. These matches are officially being counted for both points and win-loss records, for the positive and plus or minus scores. These matches are huge now. These are going to be deciding who's going to be moving on, who's going to be getting ranks, who's going to be having winner-loss records, and also who's going to be considered for getting a championship title opportunity. Like I said before, we are on Facebook Live and Twitch, so I'm going to try to go back and forth between the two eyes that are on me. Byleth not doing very good right now. I take that back. Doing very well. I'm going to be keeping track of a lot of stuff happening in these matches. Everybody down to 1 stock now in this opening match. Samus taking a pretty heavy percentage right now. Samus has just been eliminated, picking up a loss. We are now down to Roy and Byleth. For some reason, the screens have gone backwards on me, and I can't figure out why. We'll have to figure that out at some point in the future. Huge hit by Roy. Hoping for a victory here to get himself some pretty decent points. Byleth taking some pretty heavy hits. And Roy picks up a victory. Byleth getting a big old 0 on that. Now, what I can do is take a little bit of time to explain how the whole, how all of the point systems and everything are working out. Roy, because he won, will get a win in his win-loss record, but he's also going to get 2 points for that win. Sudden death wins, or sudden death losses getting 1 point, and losses getting 0 points. But there's also plus and minus records, which we're going to figure out right now. It's basically the KO score subtracted by the falls. Or them added together, I should say. So for Samus, he had 2 KOs and 3 falls for a -1 score. Byleth gets a positive 2 score. And Roy with a -1. So even though Roy won that, he has a -1 for his score and 1 in his win-loss record. We're going to move on now to the middleweight division. Actually, we'll go down to lightweight. We'll go down to lightweight for a change. Kirby, Yoshi, and Fox are up next. Fox already down a fall here in the opening 45 seconds. Fox getting a point back from Yoshi. Kirby's in some major trouble right now. He's only got one stock left, and we're gonna see how these two do. These three do, I should say. Yoshi doing very well with 45% with 2 stock left. Doing very good. While this match is wrapping up, I can share some exciting news. On next week's episode of UTW, we will be having a Smash Bros. Expert on. One of my good friends, Will Helmrich. He's going to be on talking about some of these characters, giving some information on them, and who he thinks could go far in these 3 divisions. Yoshi just picked up 2 points with a 0 score, which is interesting how these the scores and the win-loss records differ. So just gonna take quick notes with Yoshi, Kirby, and Fox. You can hear dogs barking in the background. That's awesome. Everybody got 0 points on that one. All right, let's head over to the middleweight division for our first matchup of Link and male Wii Fit Trainer. Just a reminder that some of these contenders in these divisions have already played for points and for scores and their win-loss records in the tournament to decide the very first champion in those divisions. So a lot of these guys that you're going to see not in these first couple matches already had an opportunity to get points. Some of them didn't, unfortunately, and some of them did. But these are strictly people that had not gotten points or a chance to get points yet, getting that opportunity to get points. But as soon as these interim matches start giving people these scores, we're going to see a lot of not very many interim matches because they're all going to be for stakes from that point on once we really start getting more of a footing. And one more thing that is going to end up becoming public at some point is Excel spreadsheet that is going to, through Google Docs, that is going to be documenting all of this, interim matches, who the champions are, the statistics on champions, win-loss records, score records, points records, everything is going to be on there. Interim matches, all of that, again, for interim matches, that's all going to be available once I really start getting more and more information in there. Right now, there is a lot of information that and data that I've collected. It's just I'm not really ready yet to make that public, but most likely by next Thursday's live stream, I will definitely have that link for everybody. And something that's going to be starting to happen in May is we're going to start the tag team division in May with Key to Victory at the end of May, May 31st, being the very first champion being crowned in the tag team division. With now with male We Fit Trainer picking up a point, or picking up a win and 2 points. Link, unfortunately, getting another loss. He's at 2 losses. Male We Fit Trainer is at 1-1. Female We Fit Trainer has 2 wins and a loss so far, so she is doing very good in this division so far. Link with a -1, and male We Fit Trainer with a +1. And we'll be moving on to our next heavyweight championship, or heavyweight match, being Bowser, Banjo-Kazooie, and Wario. Something that has been talked about and considered, but needs to go in a little bit more detail about in order to make a definitive answer and rules on it, is the idea of having people play characters. And we actually went through some interim matches today doing that, having people draw spots who would be playing who, was all randomized, and it worked out pretty well. Somebody kept winning over and over again, so that was nice of him. But other than that, it was actually very successful and something that I would actually consider doing once we get a bigger following, and once this the pandemic is over and we're able to do more with people live, having people come here and work it out that way. Oreo really avoided being knocked out at that. Oh. Oreo has been at one stock for quite a while and somehow made it all the way right down to the last two. Banjo and Kazooie taking a pretty big win after having 2 losses so far. All right, let's move on to the lightweight division. That's going to be Iggy, Young Link, and Pitt. Unfortunately, a lot of what we're doing right now, which doesn't really sound like an issue, but kind of is at the moment, is we're just watching right now. There really isn't much actual weight or stakes behind some of these matches. A lot of these matches are just figuring out where people are going to land in the standings, and going from there. People need to start filling out the top 10 rosters. Championships need to be defended. People need to start climbing the ranks a lot. And some people, unfortunately, got to fall down the ranks as well. A lot of that is being determined by these matches right now. Everybody will have a win or loss or sudden death record after these matches today. And I guess that's kind of what's exciting about these matches today is that before we started here, there were a lot of unknowns in the divisions, but now there will be definitive answers after tonight, going into next week. And I will be updating everybody on that on Facebook and hopefully on the Instagram page that should be up and running by next week. And then that Excel spreadsheet, the Google Docs sheet that I will be making public for next week, hopefully. This match going very fast. Everybody already down to one stock. These three not really wasting any time trying to get that win. Wow, these guys are really hanging in there in this one. Down to one stock pretty quick. I've got people sending me all sorts of stuff. That's annoying. Iggy getting the win on that one. That's in the middleweight, or lightweight, I mean. Trying to find it. Okay. Wow. Pitt going to -3 right off the bat here. Not getting any KOs. All three were negatives. Iggy actually going up +3. And Young Link unfortunately got 0 on that one and a loss. So he didn't get very much anything. I see Nut Crusher is in the chat now. Thank you very much, Nut Crusher. Now we move on to a lightweight match, which is Falco versus Ludwig. And I'm sure I know who Nut Crusher is going to be going for. Where is it? Somebody trying to get in contact with me to find the Twitch stream. on my phone, which I'm recording Twitch on, so Ludwig really needs to get a second fall without getting any, John says hi. Hi, John, get on your phone so that I get more views. Ludwig not getting the win, which unfortunately I like because I am not a fan of the Bowser Jr. clan. Or Thursday, April 30th. Just got a lovely call from one of my friends that ended my first stream. We've got about 30 minutes left, so I'm going to try to get on as fast as I can, despite all of these fantastic technical difficulties. Falco with a +2, Ludwig with a -2. Going back to the heavyweight division, as we keep on course, Snake, Ridley, and Morton are next. I have 0 viewers right now live because of that little bit of a hiccup earlier. Sorry about that. As we move on with these matches, we have 1 more heavyweight match, 5 more middleweight matches, and 3 more lightweight matches. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do a lightweight and then 2 middleweight matches. So probably do a middleweight match first, lightweight, and then middleweight. Go back to lightweight, and then do the heavyweight, and then the last 2 middleweight. Just to give some variety of what we're seeing here. If you are indeed in the stream again, hello, thank you for coming back. And if I can get you to shout out anything so I can see your name, that would be very helpful so that I know who's here. Morton taking an early lead here as we try to get people back in here from earlier. Probably think that I finished early on accident, which I did, but I am back now, so somebody really hates me right now and is disrupting everything. Hello, Nut Crusher. Can't wait for Garrett to see your name in here. And also, ha ha ha. Yeah. How are you? Trying to really spark a community here. Like I said earlier, Nut Crusher, you should try to get John and Will on their own phones so that I get more views and then have them follow me, because then I get more followers and then more people can see this. There is a lot going on right now on the screen, and I don't really know what to make of it. So, I'm doing excellent. Oh, Burnt Toast is here. Hi, Burnt Toast. Nuts. Burnt Toast, I want you to guess in the chat who Nut Crusher is, and I hope you get it right on the first guess. Ridley already out, which is actually pretty surprising considering it's Ridley. Ridley getting a loss. And Morton getting a loss. Snake taking a big 2 points. And let's see what their plus or minus scores are going to be. Ridley with a -2. Snake with a +1. And Morton with a +1. Morton taking out 4 people. But unfortunately got eliminated those 2 times. And then Snake with a +1. It is unfortunately Rachel, who is the Nut Crusher in the chat. Moving on swiftly to the next match, which is going to be Wolf versus Luigi in the middleweight division. Burnt Toast, do you want me to explain the rules and the point systems again for you? If not, you can always look at the very first episode that I did on Sunday, which I go into pretty deep detail on how everything works, or I can just go through it again to kill some time. What am I doing? This one is Wolf and Luigi. Luigi? No? Cool. So now I have nothing to talk about. Thank you. Also, Burnt Toast, go find 100 of your closest friends and tell them to come here so that I get more people in here. Thank you. And Rachel, Nut Crusher, get John on here, please. The 2 people that are in here right now will be very interested to know that we are also on Facebook Live on the Ethernet Community Wrestling channel or page on Facebook, which is very exciting, and gonna hopefully be doing a very low key, not too big of an event style, basically just an update type of episodic weekly thing on Instagram Live starting next Tuesday. Look for more details on that. I just chucked my pencil at the floor. Look for more details on that on the Facebook page at ENC Wrestling _wrestling on Facebook. And once I get the Instagram page going, that'll make it a lot easier, a lot more convenient to spread information, because not a whole lot of people in my target audience are on Facebook. Case in point, one of you is on Facebook, the other one is not. Both of you are on Instagram. I am shaking all of the screens because my leg sucks. I don't want to spoil anything. John refuses because John is dumb. John is dumb. Thank you. I don't want to spoil anything for Burnt Toast because he probably, since he hasn't seen the other matches, he doesn't know who ends up becoming the champions. But I just want to know from Nutcrusher if you think that who are champions right now, if you remember, if you're surprised that those guys are the champions in those three divisions, heavyweight, lightweight, and middleweight, if you're surprised at all that those three are the champions. And then without spoiling anything, I want Burnt Toast to give his predictions on who he thinks the three champions are at the current moment in those three divisions. And I'm not going to say if he's right or not. Just want to see what he thinks, what he predicts before watching Warzone that was on Sunday. The inside of my nose has been itching for 43 minutes and 42 seconds, which, is great. And we are actually, I was just about to say we were going to go into our first sudden death tonight, but then Wolf decided to murder Luigi in the last millisecond of that game. That was pretty awesome. So Luigi going down a point, Wolf going up one, and -1 +1. So we're going to go to a triple threat again in the lightweight division. And this time it is Pichu, Meta Knight, and Dark Pit. Unfortunately, your first pick with lightweight being Pichu. Pichu is unfortunately playing to get into the standings, so that's kind of a spoiler that you are unfortunately incorrect on Pichu. Joker is a very good prediction for medium. Heavyweight, Ganon, and K-Rool both did pretty well in the interim tournaments to decide who the first champion would be. Not going to say if they did any better in actual matches or not. Nut Crusher, I'm surprised it wasn't a tie between all the different variations of the person. I'm going to assume you're talking about the Bowser Juniors. Um, uh, Nut Crusher is definitely a big fan of all of the Bowser Juniors because she knows that I am not a fan of them. Um, so that would be, oh man, that would be in heavy and middleweight. It would be Wendy, Iggy, or Ludwig. Um, Lightweight would be Larry and Lemmy, and heavyweight would be Morton and Roy. Uh, yeah, that would really suck if either Wendy, Iggy, Ludwig, Larry, Lemmy, or Roy and Morton became champion at the same time. Um, that would definitely do wonders for the Bowser Jr. Faction, as it were. Uh, and actually, now that I said that, factions will be a part of this division or of this promotion, but mainly in the tag team division. Um, I am limiting the number of people in a faction to be endless. I mean, all of the Zelda characters or all the Mario characters, bad or good, can be in a faction, but a tag team can only consist of 4 people. Um, so while Young Link, Link, and Toon Link are a tag team as a collective, and Zelda and Sheik are a tag team as a collective, the 5 of them together can be in a faction. Um, that also being said, for like Peach, Rosalina, and Daisy are in a tag team. Mario, Yoshi, and Luigi are in a tag team, but the 6 of them together can be in a faction together. Another thing that will be starting at the end of May or beginning of June is the open weight title that is going to be defended against across all 3 brands. Um, Unfortunately for Pokemon Trainer, uh, they have a character in all 3 divisions, so they are automatically disqualified from every single division other than open weight. Uh, so hopefully they can do pretty well in the open weight division, considering they can't be in any of the other divisions. Um, so I find that to be incredibly frustrating for one, and also interesting at the same time. Um, they could potentially also be in a tag team if they could find one of the other Pokemon to be in a tag team with. I currently have 18 tag teams listed that I'm going to start putting into circulation until the end of May, when we have the first champion crowned at Key to Victory. They Other than Pikachu and Pichu, I didn't really find a reason to have any of the others in a tag team together, other than maybe Greninja and Lucario, or Greninja and Mewtwo in a tag team together. But definitely, if there's a spot for uh, Pokemon Trainer to be in a tag team, all the Pokemon could be in a faction, but they cannot be in the same tag team. And I can go into that reasoning in a minute, right after I get this stuff down. Meta Knight with a win over Dark Pit and Pichu. Pichu and Dark Pit not doing very good so far um, in the lightweight division, but Dark Pit does pick up a positive point um, despite losing. Meta Knight, despite winning, picks up a -1, and Pichu gets a 0. Big fat 0. We're going to go up to middleweight again for Rosalina versus Zelda, a clash of the chicks, as it were. This is going to be an interesting one. I don't know how this one's going to go, but I would love to see a match between all of the women in the middleweight division, and definitely a match between all of the women in all of the divisions together. That being Peach, Daisy, Zelda, Sheik, Lucina, female Wii Fit trainer Rosalina, Palutena, Wendy, and then that's all in the middleweight, and lightweight is Zero Suit Samus, and I think that's it other than Inkling for the lightweight. And then heavyweight would be Samus and Dark Samus, and then Byleth. And I believe that is it. If I missed any, let me know in the chat so I can shout them out. But I would love to see a tournament or a match between all of them. Magical Mamas, says the Nut Crusher. You are correct. Not all of them magical, but definitely some badass bitches in there. All sword characters. Basically, the Fire Emblem characters could become a faction if they wanted to, which would be mostly all of the sword characters, excluding Ganon and a couple other people. I mean, you could do an all projectiles match with like Simon and Richer and Villager. Like, there's all sorts of different variations that I want to explore as the divisions start to materialize a little bit more. The open weight division is going to be a perfect place to do all of those, because Simon and Richter being in the heavyweight, I believe. Yep. And there's also people with guns would be another good one. Rosalina getting absolutely destroyed by Zelda in that one, and pretty commanding fashion. If I can find Rosalina on here. I believe this is going to be, this is going to be a +3, -3. Rosalina getting 0 KOs on Zelda. That was a blowout. Ganon is a sword character. Changed my mind. Ganon is a sword character. He whips it out for about 5 seconds every couple minutes in a match, unless one person specifically that I'm thinking of is playing as him. Let's stay in the middleweight division for a second and do Robin versus Marth, because that is a Fire Emblem match between those two. I would consider Ganondorf to be a sword character. Any other hot takes you guys have? Mr. Burnt Toast? All sword character tournament. That would be, I would say, that would be very cool to do. It would also like you were saying with Ganon, that is kind of controversial because he's not really considered to be a sword character, but he does wield a sword of sorts. Um, we do have 5 more matches after this one, and we are coming up on 4 minutes till the end. We need to get you a capture card. We definitely do need to get me a capture card. Unfortunately, I do not have one. It is something that I do plan on spending $60 on getting one with. Especially if I'm able to get more of a following. It'd be kind of pathetic if I'm sitting here in front of a TV with it backwards. It isn't backwards on Facebook Live though, which is interesting. We are going to close with this match actually today because we're coming up on 3 minutes till the end of the hour. As long as if Robin can get knocked out pretty quick, we might be able to have time for one more match before we head out today. Robin sounds like he's saying Markiplier. It's not backwards. It's not? What? Aw, man, that's a load of crap. I don't need a car. I don't need the, what's it called, capture card then, if it ain't backwards. This works just fine. Doesn't it? Not tacky at all. I am going to put on one more match. I'm going to actually make this a fatal 4-way between the last 4 people in the middleweight division that were supposed to be fighting in 1-on-1 matches. We got Shulk, Palutena, Joker, and Pac-Man. And this is going to be our very last match of today. It will look better. I know. It looks backwards to me on my phone, but on Facebook Live and on my Twitch thing here, I can see straight up my nose on Twitch. That's cool. Yeah, I'm also going to be docking my phone, putting it somehow right next to my camera on my computer so that I can just look up and see everybody instead of having to go back and forth, which was totally exhausting and I will never do again. Pac-Man, Pac-Man, Pac-Man. Woo! Pac-Man. Joker and Palutena, the only one with a fall so far. What's weird? I say a lot of stuff. That's weird. You'll have to narrow that down. How many nose hairs does he have? That's an excellent question. I'm sure Nut Crusher has counted them all in my sleep. Once 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 this match is over, I'll be signing off and heading out of all the lives, and yeah, look out for the Instagram. Hopefully that Instagram page will be up by the end of this week, and if not, at least by Tuesday, when I can have that first live stream on there through the channel, and then just come hang out again on next Thursday. We will be possibly doing a couple interim matches, and then introducing a couple tag team matches into next week. Also, for next week, either Tuesday or Thursday, I will be sending out the link or putting the link in the description on the Facebook or Twitch channels that you can go in and look at all the information that I have so far, all of the data, so you can kind of follow people. And I would love to hear who you guys are going to be rooting for going on from here. I know Nut Crusher is going to be taking Bowser Jr. and company to the grave, because I said one thing about not liking them one time on Sunday. And yeah, as Pac-Man and Joker finish out this match, I'm going to get that data taken down. Joker really sticking in there with 137%. Pac-Man 1 hit away from taking the win. Kind of blowing it right now. As you do. And with that win from Pac-Man, I am going to sign off on Facebook. And with that, I will sign off on Twitch. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon. Goodbye.